Well, good morning and welcome to another week. I know this week's gonna look a little weird because we are off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so we only have 2 days this week. So the lesson that I'm teaching you will actually last you for 2 whole weeks. So there will not be a new lesson next Monday. This lesson will kind of compensate for those 2 weeks. And what I've decided to do, and we've done it already with subtracting and adding negative numbers, I decided to reteach multiplying and dividing to give you an alternative video for those that just maybe need a more basic understanding or more kind of direct understanding of what multiplying, dividing negative numbers looks like. So our learning target for today is I can solve multiplication and division mathematical problems containing negative numbers in real world problems. So we're still focusing on the real world situation, but we're going to kind of break down a little bit more and maybe hone in a little bit more on those negative signs by themselves. So if you look in the engage section, you can see that I have some two charts there for you to show you, do you see something that would help you understand the rules for multiplying and dividing? Is there something that you can look at these and say, okay, these are always this and these are always this, which might actually help you develop a better understanding of those rules. And again, the other sections that I have, the explore section, I've given you additional resources. So these are not the same as the other lesson. They're just additional that I found that give a more basic understanding of how to solve these kind of operations with negative numbers. In the explain section, instead of writing something, I've actually used a flip grid to kind of have you speak in your own understanding of what this process is. So the more you understand the rules, the better these will become, the easier these will be for you to solve. So I'm going to really focus on the rules in this lesson to help you kind of understand that. And then like ending evaluate, I give you some problems to kind of check your understanding. So again, the numbers themselves can be done with a calculator, but I'm more focused on, are you getting the rules for the negative numbers correct? And then the template, it sort of is like the elaborate. In the other unit, I kind of tweaked it a little bit, but again, I want you to still be able to, apply your understanding to a real world scenario based on what you've learned in this lesson. So what we're going to do today is look at this resource section and kind of hone in on these rules. So hopefully in the engage, you were able to kind of identify something around this idea that with multiplication and division, they're probably the most easier ones to learn than subtraction and addition. With multiplication and division, there's only two things. If they're both the same sign, it's always positive. If they're different signs, they're always negative. Doesn't matter which operation there is. So if you look at these, a positive times a positive is a positive. A negative times a negative is a positive. So same sign is always 100% positive. Different signs are always 100% negative. So a positive times a negative is a negative. A negative times a positive is a negative. And it does not matter which operation it is, it applies to both. So like I said before, these ones are a little bit more better to understand or easier to grasp because it's literally two rules. Same sign, positive, different sign, negative. And if you look at the examples given, we have an example like -5 times -4. So we know that 5 times 4 is 20. They have the same sign, so our answer is going to be positive. Or if we have -3 times 8, 8 times 3 is 24, then I go back and look at my rule and say, okay, that's a negative, 8's a positive. Oh, different sign, negative. And the same thing applies to division. So just think through this. And what I always try to tell students is this: solve the problem in your calculator or not. Maybe you know how, maybe you're really good at multiplying and dividing, but solve the number. Then go back and determine what sign it has. So sometimes when we do things all at once, we get confused or something, a mistake happens. So if we kind of break it up and say, I'm going to look at the number first and then go back and look at my rows and my signs. So like again, -5 times -4, I could say 5 times 4 is 20. I know that. Then go back and say, okay, are they both negative or both the same sign? Or are they different signs? And then that's going to determine my final solution. So the point to this lesson is not necessarily multiplying and dividing. It's more of you better understanding the rules behind multiplication and division and then be able to apply those rules to your understanding in the evaluate and again in the elaborate section. So hopefully this lesson was useful, this reteach lesson, and that you can confidently say, I can solve multiplication and division mathematical problems containing negative numbers in real world problems and be able to apply that to throughout your lesson and enhance your learning. So if you have any questions, please let me know and continue to finish those focus areas and begin working this unit. I know I've extended it a little bit due to the fact that A and B are now together, but we need to continue working through this unit and start completing cool downs and use those lists that I've given you. Okay, so hope you have a great day. Let me know if you need any help. Thanks.